Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece. Today we have a review of Chapter 875, A Woman's Honor. And just as the title suggests, we get a chapter full of amazing moments from the female cast in this arc. But just before we jump into that, let's begin with the cover page. So lately I haven't really even been commenting on the cover pages, but Bartolomeo's portion of the cover story just got exceptionally interesting. Last we heard from him, he docked on an island under the control of Shanks, and this chapter we see him and his crew burning the flag of the red-haired pirates. I'll say that again, burning the flag. And this is a deceptively massive move. Like, this is on the level of the Straw Hat Pirates burning the flag of the world government. Bartolomeo has essentially just declared war on Shanks, possibly accidentally, in the name of the Straw Hat Pirates. This could officially make them enemies of all four of the emperors, leaving nowhere in the New World safe for them to sail. Now, I know Luffy has said that eventually he'll have to beat all of the emperors, but damn, this could have some serious consequences for everyone involved with the Straw Hat Pirates. Alternatively, because Shanks is a cool kind of dude, he might just let this transgression slide, especially because it wasn't Luffy himself who did it. Whatever the case, a fascinating development here, and I look forward to seeing more. After the Cavendish portion of the cover arc, I thought these would all be pointless adventures, but thankfully I was proved wrong. And with that, let's get to the chapter at hand. So we have some serious girl power happening here. After Nami baits Zeus all the way through the seducing woods, the Cloud ends up eating her weather egg. As the name suggests, this is an egg, and when it hatches, it releases a burst of some sort of weather, in this case thunder, but we have also seen rain, and it's been implied that she has a snow egg as well. Come to think of it, I'm not entirely clear about how the weather eggs work. I don't know if they're tools carried by Nami, kind of like grenades, or if she somehow creates them with the climate act, but either way, she essentially planted a big thunder bomb inside Zeus, warping the happy Cloud into an absolutely massive blast, raining down on Big Mom and her minions. And this is one of the single most destructive attacks we've seen this arc, and I could not be more pleased that it came from Nami. I was actually considering doing a video on just how neglected the female characters of One Piece are, and let's be honest, even with this chapter they still are. But it's great to see Nami getting in the best hit on Big Mom I think we've ever seen. Judging by her facial expression, it appears that Nami actually caused some kind of damage, or at least shock, which is more than Luffy's Gear 4th or Capone's KX launchers were capable of. Nami's attack is actually so devastating that from a distance the Charlotte siblings assume that it was just Big Mom who used Zeus to deliver a finishing blow, and that is an incredible credit to Nami. But the girl power does not stop there. Nearing the end of the chapter, we have both Pudding and Chiffon coming to the rescue of the Straw Hat Pirates. It was great to see Chiffon standing up to Capone and going off to save the day. Also, Capone seems legitimately worried about her safety and definitely didn't want her to go. I think this mafioso psychopath castle man actually loves her. So Capone has a sweet side after all. Well, no. And there's also a bit of carrot action this week. So I'm really not happy with just how pointless she's been throughout the whole Cake Island adventure so far. Every other member of this expedition has been quite consistently useful, and even had a phenomenal moment or two during the arc, but Carrot has just kind of, been there. So seeing her kick into gear this chapter was a nice start, but I hope she does a lot more to justify her coming along in the first place. Alternatively, this could be a sort of Kinemon situation where she sticks with the crew for another arc or two and has a big story moment down the line. So what are our male characters up to this week? Well, a fair bit actually. Chopper and Brook are seen covered in whipped cream from the chateau collapse, which was pretty funny. Chopper's been satisfying his sweet tooth with it, and the pair end up at the Sunny. However, it is under the guard of Perospero and Katakuri. Weirdly enough, Perospero offers to let the duo escape in the submarine, and I don't know where this came from. It does offer Brook and Chopper a great moment to refuse and activate their combat modes, but I just don't think it fits with Perospero's character to make such an offer. His life is literally on the line right now if Big Mom doesn't get her wedding cake, so as if he would risk enraging her further by letting a portion of the Straw Hat Pirates escape, especially the skeleton that she wanted so badly for her collection of weird creatures. But let's just put that to the side. Brook and Chopper are quite possibly about to engage with Katakuri, and I don't see that going well for them at all. Therefore, the other group are bound to show up at some point soon to intervene. Amongst the other group, Luffy tries using armament haki to punch Prometheus, and that, surprisingly to me, does not work, because I'm pretty sure it should. To my knowledge, armament haki sort of nullifies devil fruit powers and allows the users to take damage. Well, maybe not nullifies it, but certainly allows fruit users to take damage as a normal person. In this case, though, Prometheus seems to exist purely as flames, and not part of the fruit power that he was conjured from. It's possible that Luffy's haki just isn't strong enough to hurt him, sort of like how Smoker warned Tashigi that her haki wasn't strong enough to combat Trafalgar Law. But Jinbei's comment of thinking of Prometheus as simply fire leads me to believe that it doesn't matter how strong an individual's haki is in this case. Luffy then comments that this makes Prometheus harder to beat than a Logia user, which seems true until Jinbei splashes him with some water, much to the Mini-Sun's displeasure. Turns out he has the same weakness as Crocodile, really. But with this action, Jinbei continues his campaign to become MVP of this arc. At the moment, it's tight between him and Brook, with Nami following closely in third place after this chapter. But really, that's about it for this chapter. The only other real thing to note is that King Balm is confirmed to be alive, which was always going to be the case. I mean, he has to return safely to Lady Tree and live happily ever after, so his death was never an option. But this was a good chapter overall. Because of the 2 breaks in quick succession, I feel like this chase has been going on forever. And it has actually. This chase sequence has been happening for over a month of real time now, including the 2 break weeks. So I'm incredibly ready to step up the pace and finish this arc. Those 2 breaks actually happened at a horrendous moment in the story, and it kinda killed all of the pace of the ending. Actually, for those of you unfamiliar with the Japanese theater world, which is probably a massive chunk of everybody, there is a concept known as Jo-Ha-Kyu. It's kind of a guide to basic storytelling, with Jo being the beginning that builds slowly, leading into the Ha, the middle section that speeds up the action and takes up the bulk of the performance, culminating in the Kyu, which is a swift ending. It's actually really interesting and goes a lot deeper, to the point where each step in the Jo-Ha-Kyu process can have its own Jo-Ha-Kyu, and then you can further analyze those mini-steps as much as you care to. But in relation to One Piece, I believe the Kyu, or the swift ending, began as soon as the chateau had fallen, and had we kept a constant pace, I think this would have been quite an exciting ride to the end of Whole Cake Island. Unfortunately, the breaks really messed up the pacing, and it's really hard to get back on track, possibly impossible. Although in volume form, these chapters should be glorious. And on that note, we are going to go ahead and wrap up this review. Now, in terms of the channel, you may have noticed that I haven't been uploading anywhere near as regularly as I had been previously. In short, this is due to my annoying profession. I work in the world of theatre, and there are some times of the year where I need to work 14 to 16 hour days for a solid week or 2. That, of course, really messes up everything in my life, including this channel, but that period is coming to an end, and I hope to be regularly uploading again soon. So thank you for your continued support, and speaking of support, if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to like, favorite, or subscribe. Oh, and leave a comment with your thoughts on this week's chapter. This has been the Grand Line Review, and I'll see you next time.